better place than what it is now. And the funny thing about that is women's wrestling could still be in a better place than what it is now, but it's just the WWE aren't utilizing their women to their fullest potential, which is why I hope they utilize people like Becky Lynch to their fullest potential before it's too late. And we can get to that point where women are used to their fullest potential. It's just about raising awareness in written columns, video blogs, radio shows, websites that post articles every 30 minutes. We just have to raise awareness, and we have to let our voice be heard about women in wrestling, because I don't think they get enough recognition. You know, Owen Hart says that women don't have a place in wrestling. He said that for years before he died. And maybe back then they didn't have a place in wrestling, but I think they do have a place in wrestling now, and I don't think they deserve to be criticized as much as what they have been criticized. So let's get going with something creatively for the WWE Divas division. Let's get going with something creatively for the NXT Women's division. If Sasha Banks is supposed to be the boss of the NXT Women's division, why isn't she the boss of the Divas division? If she has such a promising future, why isn't she on Monday Night Raw or Thursday Night SmackDown? Why isn't she getting that exposure? Why aren't the majority of the NXT women getting that exposure? Why are the same 3 or 4 always the ones being put over? Am I wrong here in this situation? No, I don't think I'm wrong. If I am wrong, let me know how I'm wrong, because I don't think that I'm wrong with what I'm saying about the WWE Divas division or the women's division, because I think there's so much promising that goes with either division, and I think that promising can come through with the WWE. It's just, you know, who do we put the blame on here? Do we put the blame on WWE's women's division or the NXT Divas division, or do we talk about, you know, how WWE Creative are the ones that aren't giving these opportunities out when they probably should be giving these opportunities out? Am I wrong here in saying this? No, I don't think I'm wrong in saying this. I just think that WWE are just dropping the ball like they've always done for years. You know, if I said WWE are doing everything right, then it would just be jumping to a conclusion. They're far from doing everything right. Yes, they may know what they're doing on times, but more times than enough they don't know what they're doing, because they fail to recognize the potential that goes with male or female talents in both aspects. And it's just terrible how WWE just orchestrates itself and how they run a business, how they're running a business so professionally. And that's what gets me about creative all the time. You know, if I ever, you know, designated stupidity in professional wrestling and started targeting everything stupid in wrestling, I think the first place I'd start would be WWE Creative, because, I mean, do you even see the potential that the NXT Women's division has? Do you even recognize the potential the Divas division has and has had for years? I don't think you do, because if you're pushing the same 3 or 4 all the time, you're letting these other divas that have so much potential, so much God-given talent, sit on the proverbial back burner and sit in the back seat waiting for an opportunity that just isn't going to come their way. And that's the unfortunate thing about it, because there's so much potential that goes with an unbelievable crop of new talent and an unbelievable established crop of legendary women in the business. Yes, the days of Rena Mero and Alundra Blaze may be far behind us and long forgotten about. But the thing is, I really think that more women can be created in the way of Alundra Blazes and Rena Meros, but they just have to be given that opportunity. But I think we're a long way away from seeing it. It's going to take time. Things like that aren't going to happen for people like Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks overnight, but it's eventually going to happen, and all we have to do is give them the reconciliation they so rightfully deserve. And to say they don't deserve it would be jumping a conclusion, shooting the proverbial gun off at a miscue. And I really think that we just need to give them the recognition and give them the thumbs up, because until we do that, nothing is going to be done, and we're just going to be resorting to watching them on YouTube as opposed to Raw or SmackDown, where they should be. Do I think Becky Lynch should be on Raw or SmackDown and be in WWE now? By now? Yeah, sure. Hell yeah. I think she should be. She's an incredible talent. I've seen the majority of her matches through YouTube or the network and on NXT's web shows. She's just an amazing talent who I think deserves that reconciliation, and she is long overdue for getting that reconciliation. And I do apologize for not talking about her more in my video blogs than when I've talked about other divas like Paige, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and many others of the NXT Women's division, who I've been focusing on a lot more so than the Divas division. So probably I should be apologizing to the Divas division, because it seems like, apart from the wrestling, the only thing I talk about with Divas wrestling now is the backstage drama and gossip and things like relationships with photos that are posted on Facebook and Twitter. Hint, hint there, Dean Ambrose and AJ Lee. So maybe I should be issuing an apology to the Divas division for not talking about them as much as I have the NXT Women's division. But the NXT Women's division, in terms of wrestling and competition level, that's where it's at. You're not going to find that same competition in the TNA Knockouts division anymore. You're not going to find that in the Ring of Honor Women's division anymore, nor on the Indies. You may see a little bit of it on the indies, but not enough. I mean, how many independent wrestling promotions out there actually have an established women's division? Maybe every 3 and 4, there's one. With 3 or 4 independent wrestling promotions, there's one good established women's division. Within the next 3 or 4, there isn't. Within 3 or 4, there's one that stands out throughout Canada and the United States. And I know a lot of wrestling promotions that have a clusterfuck of a women's division and really can't get anything going with women's wrestling. One women's match every 6 months is not cutting it. We need something more going for women's wrestling, and it's a fault that deserves to be corrected and deserves to be recognized and not go without reconciliation. And there are more issues. At the end of the day, the unfortunate thing is there's more issues going on and running amok with women's wrestling that are not going without notice and that are not going without correction. And I think that they deserve to be corrected. Am I wrong here? I don't think I am. I'm far from wrong with this. I am definitely right, and I think that my assumption definitely needs to be taken into consideration, because I think there is a lot of potential and far more creative things that can be done with women's wrestling, especially when it comes to a talent like Becky Lynch, who is definitely deserving of a push and deserving of a call-up to WWE. Give me your opinion on our Facebook page at HEW Entertainment and on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1. And I've got for you now Miley Cyrus for you and Party in the USA. And I will see you next week.
Like what you hear? Tell us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
I hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah, moving my hips like yeah. Got my hands up to play my song. You know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. Get to the club in my taxi cab. Everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? She gotta be from out of town. So hard with my girls on around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party, cause all I see are stilettos. I guess I never got the memo. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. It's when the DJ dropped my favorite tune and the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my
Don't go anywhere. HEW Entertainment Radio will return with the latest news, music, interviews, discussion, and Jonathan Clarke next.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone. WrestleZone.com.
He considers himself God's gift to wrestling, and millions of his faithful agree. With nearly 4 hours of footage and exclusive commentary and matches, this DVD chronicles Daniel's rise from Chicago's Windy City Wrestling